Good morning, watch fans. This is Big Jim with the Big Wrist. I was looking at my watches this morning and I noticed a significant amount of wear on some of these bracelets. So I thought I might compare steel by price point. So here are 4 watches at 4 different price points. The Rolex, $6,000 retail, $8,500 street price. The Tudor, $2,800 retail with a street price of $2,500 used, about $2,200 used on a bracelet. This is the G-Shock GA2100. It's a $100 watch. I'm sorry, I take it back. It's a 5610. Sorry, 5610. So it's a $100 wall, $140 square on an $80 bracelet, $80 Chinese bracelet. And this is the Omega Seamaster Professional 300 GMT. Great watch, love it. 25-year-old watch. This was produced in 1998, so we're at 24 and a half years right now. And I do believe this has been professionally polished, but it was done amazingly. I cannot believe this is a 25-year-old watch with so few marks on it. I have watches that are a lot newer than this with a lot more marks on them. So I assume I have had this less than a year. I assume it's been polished, but it's been done professionally, obviously. Everything is sharp, there's edges here, everything still feels good. Maybe it wasn't polished, I don't know. Maybe it's just a new clasp. But even the links are in great shape. So anyways, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the steel and how it wears. So, you know, these are all considered very, very high quality watches for what they do. You know, the G-Shock is indestructible on a plastic band, and it comes now, you can buy them OEM on steel, which I didn't when I bought this watch. I couldn't get a steel one then, but I put it on steel. The Tudor comes on steel, the Rolex comes on steel, and the Omega, of course, comes on steel. So, you know, how do they wear? So this was new. About the Omega was about a $2,500 watch new, $2,000 new. About it's running about $3,500 for a perfect condition version. And as you can see, a few minor marks. You know, when I got it, there wasn't a mark on it. It was perfect when I got it. These are all me from the last 8 months. So the steel has, you know, got a few marks on the clasp. The Chinese bracelet, 3 years. Heavy rotation, got one big scratch on it. The links all have the same amount of scratches. So, you know, it might be a softer steel. The Tudor, coming up on 3 years on this watch, maybe 4. Yeah, maybe 4 years on this watch, on the bracelet, coming up there somewhere. And it's pretty scratched up. I have never polished it. So, you know, 4 years old. It's my first luxury watch. I've worn the heck out of it. And the Tudor, I'm sorry, and the Rolex, the OP39 blue. Different steel. These are all, you know, steel, but this is the Rolex proprietary 904L. This is these are all standard 315 steels, the other ones. So this is different steel, and it's supposed to be more corrosion resistant, more likely to hold up under heavy use. Don't really see a difference. These two watches are about the same age, you know, the bracelets are about the same age. They were both perfect, unmarked when I bought them. They were both like new in the box. One from Bob's and this one's from Watchbox, I believe. Back when TGV used to work for them, I bought this. So it's been 3 years, I guess, 2.5 years. So, you know, these really are the best to compare. You know, the normal everyday steel that is so common on everything from Longines to Tissot. This is just the normal steel everyone uses in the industry. And this is Rolex's proprietary steel that a few other people are now using. I've seen it advertised on a few other, and there is a weighted test, but I don't have that ability, so I have to take them at their word. I personally think the steel is not the reason to buy the better watch. I don't think anyone normally using these watches, even getting them wet in salt water, will ever know the difference between the two steels. Honestly, I don't. I'm not sure it's a marketing gimmick, having the better steel, having the quote better steel, but it does separate them from the rest of the crowd. So it might be a marketing decision. I don't really think it's that big a difference. You know, the steel marks up the same as the other ones. You know, it polishes the same, I'm sure. I've never polished either one of these. This particular Tudor never had a mark on the bezel, but this particular Tudor did have a mark on the bezel. This one had a blue mark, the blue one. You can just see the shadow right there where the mark used to be. It used to be really bad. And so I got this watch at such a great discount because it was almost perfect with a mark on that bezel, really bad one. So you can't feel it anymore. You can't feel anything at all there, but you can definitely see it. Just a tiny shadow, if I can get it in there. You can just see the shadow above the 11 there. So the 11 o'clock marker. But yeah, so, you know, I got a significant discount on this watch. And as you can see, you know, the sides of the cases are identical. The watches are identical except one's blue, one's black. You know, and the Tudor bracelet, again, heavy use on a non-OEM strap, just looks fantastic. The bracelet here is held up really nicely. I think the way the clasp is, it kind of recessed, so this tongue takes most of the weight. As you can see, there's more marks on the tongue than there are on the actual clasp itself. So, but that's just my comparison of these bracelets. I personally don't think buying the higher quality steel should be in your decision-making capacity. I think the steels are all pretty equal. Of the watches here, they've all scratched up. They've all get normal use. If anything, the Omega has scratched quicker than I would have expected, this being a perfect condition bracelet when I bought it in March. I think I got it in March or April this year, so it's only been 6 months. I've had it 6 or 7 months. It was perfect when I got it. And now, of course, with just normal wear, and it gets worn every week, no more than every 10 days. Half a day usually, sometimes full day. It gets marked up, you know. Let's take a look at this one real quick. This is my newest stainless steel watch in the basket, and I've had this I don't know, less than a month, and I wear it a lot. I really like it. It's very comfortable, and it's got a few marks on it right there. See those marks right there? And of course, I've had to add links, so there's marks from that I won't count. I've had to add the bracelet apart a couple times, trying to make everything fit the way I want it to fit and get all the links that are off another bracelet on here. And I'm still trying to find extra links for it. So you can see though, this is a month and got a little mark right there. Nothing else really, a few small smudges up here. And then this one is 6 months and it's got some pretty good marks on it. So I think all the steel is pretty equal. Maybe it's better corrosion resistance, but I don't know that many people who actually take their Rolexes and their Tudors into the water and or their Seamasters, which mine's a 300-meter rated Seamaster. I don't think I'm ever taking this thing in the ocean. I think I'd be crazy to take a nearly $4,000 watch in the water. But yeah, especially when it's in such good condition, and not that many out there in this good condition. So anyways, this has been Big Jim talking about bracelets and steel. I think all the steel's pretty equal. You have a great one. Take care. Bye.